different today. There's quite a fair bit of ice that I couldn't get off the top of the Jeep without without using more force than I would be comfortable with. So we're filming from inside the Jeep on a mount that I've geared up, and we're going to see how that works. We got a fair bit of snow yesterday. And the plows have been trying their best. But once anybody starts driving on the snow and starts getting packed down, it's hard for the plows to really get it up past what the tires have already charted it down to. So you end up with a very thick, compact, snow-packed layer that can be kind of can be what you make it, really. If you're not paying attention or going too fast, it'll let you know. But given the amount of snow that we had last night, I was kind of curious to see what everything looked like. I won't be able to maneuver the views around like I have in other videos, I guess, but you'll still be able to have a pretty good scenic drive. We'll just take our time. You can barely see where the streets are, to be honest with you. Some people still digging out. I dug out 3 times already, but I knew I had to have my wife dug out early this morning so she could get to the hospital for work. So I'd rather move it 3 times, just a light layer of snow, compared to one big snow push where I'm just shoveling everything and only getting a foot or so every time. I find it a little more effective for me, not as hard on me. Or I can just make a pass across the driveway a few different times, and in an hour's time I'm done. But you can tell, yeah, Bridgetown got quite a little bit of snow here. Quite a fair bit of snow. It started snowing yesterday morning with like a snow and rain mix, and it never really stopped. Later in the evening, it turned into more of a snow, consistent snow, rather large flakes, but once it started sticking, it started really adding up. do a different drive today, but I don't think I'm gonna bite off of that. I don't think I got big enough jaws to chew that today. Up on top of the South Mountain might be a little bit much for, you know. I don't want to become an obstacle just trying to get a decent drive in, I guess. So we'll take a little drive around Bridgetown, up through the Clarence and around through to Lawrencetown and down through Paradise back down to Bridgetown. See what that loop looks like today. I wish I was able to be connected to the outside of the Jeep where I could actually pan around. The wind carrying the snow through the fields and just everything is just frost and snow covered. And this is about my favorite time. I find it hard to stay home when it's like this. I think I'll do this drive, and then I think later when I get back home, I'll bundle up pretty good, and I think maybe we'll go up to the top of the mountain there where we can have a little walk and have a little look at Crosskill Lake and Valley View Park. Had the dogs up there the other day. It was a nice little walk. I imagine there's a few people up through there today. Probably be pretty nice. But I also wanted to get out for a little drive. Little drive. But the day is young. So now we'd be on the south side of Bridgetown here, the north side of Bridgetown, sorry. Clarence. wanted to get the ice off the roof of the Jeep. I really did. I didn't want to do any damage to it. But given the rain and mix that we had yesterday, I'm not surprised that it's kind of clung right into on the roof of these Jeeps. On the 4 doors, there's a couple rubber seams where you got like a T-top, and you can take the roof apart in sections, and once the snow gets into that, you kind of got to be pretty forceful. And also, given the temperature that it is, my cup situation my suction cup situation and apparatus that I use for filming on the roof of the Jeep in the fall and in the winter is, I don't know whether I'm trusting it right now. And I didn't know how much to trust it, whether to trust it on the side of my window. I mean, it's designed for a window and whatnot, but it's minus 12 degrees Celsius, and I just don't really trust it. It hasn't given me any reason to trust it, but I don't want to find that reason. So we're going with this today. But it seems to be a nice drive. That valley, or that little valley going up through the North Mountain there is pretty nice. I wish I could pan over to some of this. I'll try. I've still got it in 360 mode. But I don't have, I'm locked to the perspective of my windshield. The pillars in this Jeep on the side of the windows are a little bit bigger than normal compared to car or whatnot. You got the big handles and stuff like that, so we will make do for today. Too pretty of a drive not to get it. We'll just do a short little loop, a decent little loop. See what everything looks like. See who got the most snow. Did we get the most snow over on the south side of the river, of the Annapolis River, or did they get more snow over here on the north side of the river? I'm kind of thinking that we got more snow over on the south side, to be honest with you. Over Round Hill Way, and yeah. I wanted to go up West Dalhousie, up the Morse Mountain Road, up West Dalhousie today. Somebody made a comment on a previous video of coming out to Perrott, but I don't think I'm going out to Perrott today. As pretty as it is, yeah, I'll save that for when I know that the snowplows have ventured out there. We got a lot more snow than I think anybody was really planning on. said 5 to 10, possibility of 15, but yeah, given what we had all day yesterday and into today, or in through the nighttime into this morning, it was still snowing pretty good until roughly an hour ago. And, it's illegal to plow across the road, but anyway, I won't be that guy. But if you are watching this and you are one of those people, it is illegal to push your snow right across the road. You're making little speed bumps. Anyway, that's my Karen moment of the day. Or Chad, or whatever you want to call it. Whatever. That guy's doing it right. He's coming out and back dragging it back in through and up and pushing it off the side and cleaning it up after, but to push it right across the side from one side of the road across the other and leave not so much speed bumps, because anybody driving fast enough to where that's an actual speed bump for them is they're asking for it, but archway coming through there was pretty. The snow clinging onto everything, pulling it down. Whoa! We found a pothole. Oh, oh, oh! My poor baby. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a deep one. Oh. My girl didn't like that. He was gonna try it, but he decided against it. And I was gonna try it, but I also decided against it. Oh, we'll keep going up to Lawrencetown and cut in through. Some of these spots you don't have to go very far. You think you're in a good drift and it turns into being a lot of drift. What a beautiful drive today. There, but a little bit. I bet you this was something through the nighttime before some tracks got made through it. Seems like a spot where it'd be nice and drifted. Make our way up to East Clarence and then cut in across. That'll take us in across the 101. That'd be the main highway for going up through the valley, take you all the way from Yarmouth all the way up to Halifax in this section of the valley. And sad fact for the day, or sad event for the day. My windshield cracked on me this morning, just as I was leaving. I had a small crack on the other side, all the way on the passenger side, and it's not a small crack no more. So we're gonna have to deal with that at some point. I was expecting it to happen. I was dreading it happening. But I kind of knew when the cold weather turned, and I was hoping it was going to just stay in that spot, but I wasn't that lucky. And just as soon as the heat got kind of defrosting everything, and it did what they normally do with the heat, the temperature change in the glass or whatever it is that does it, it just kind of this is just like this is a skating rink. Should have brought the graphs with me. Oh, we got pretty good tires, knock on wood. But we're not going to be stupid either. I've always been a little bit crazy, but I always try not to be dumb. Probably won't have to search far to find somebody to argue that point, but yeah, that's a sheet of ice under here. The wind whipping right across there. Last night when that got bare, as the plow went across it, guaranteed there was just a little bit of moisture in that snow from when it was raining. And as soon as that got covered or cleared, I bet you that instantly froze within seconds. Time to have a snowmobile. Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful spot right there. Look at this. The snow just hanging onto them trees. A breath of wind and that's all gone. That's why I just kind of, days like this, I have a hard time staying at home. Just something just gets at me and says you better get out. You should get out. You should go check it out. You should go do something. Go for a drive, go for a walk, take the dogs, do something. So now we're coming down. We're trail videos and some riding videos across some of the fields and trails. Not the fields, but across some of the trails around here. The destinations and the driving videos are kind of getting shortened up because of the weather. This time of year in Nova Scotia is very unpredictable, to say the least. So the ability to drive halfway across the province at 5 a.m. and record a video and at noon or whatever and make my way back home that day or next day and shoot a series or whatever, an afternoon worth of content and make the drive feasible is kind of cornered myself in here, but we're making the best I can, or the best we can. Share a little bit of my memories and our adventures with the dogs. Hopefully you guys enjoy that, or you people enjoy that. So I know they like going, and they don't need a reason to go, but sometimes it's, I don't know, sometimes you need a little more extra motivation to get off the couch, because I don't know, some days just be like that. Wow. Yeah, we definitely got more down here in the valley than up on the north side of the river. This is a beautiful little spot. Little boat launch down off to the left of us there, going over top of the Annapolis River. What a beautiful day to be out for a little walk. Make the most every day. Yeah, I think I'll take the dogs for a little walk here later. It's a little bit windy to go down onto the marsh or anywheres, but maybe I'll go back up for another walk up around Valley View, or we'll go somewheres. I imagine the pups will appreciate it. I got Cooper's paws all trimmed up for him, so he's not going to have to worry about so much snow sticking in, but we'll take the little balloons for him just in case. I don't know whether it's that we got more snow over here, that you're close, like a lot of the wind was coming, it was a westerly. It was kind of a little bit of a westerly when it was blowing, but for the most part it just seemed to fall. Whether it was because over on the other side it was the wind unswept fields right there. We're driving through more farm fields, and a lot of the snow might have already blown, to a different location. But it just seems like over on this side of the river, coming down through this side, through Paradise, what an appropriate name, especially today, eh? Paradise. She's a winter paradise right now. But you're kind of nestled right in the backside of the mountain. And the South Ridge kind of goes right up the whole spine of the province. So you get a good snowfall system working its way right up. This side of the province, and on the valley side, it usually goes up through that ridge, up along the South Mountain, and if not, it'll go up through like the Bay of Fundy, and we in the valley normally wouldn't get much of that snow. It would bypass because it would get stuck on the other side of the North Mountain. But this snow system definitely came up and was just kind of creeping along the South Mountain here, because it was it's dramatically different. There's a lot more snow. You can visibly just see it. But yeah, if it comes up on the South Mountain, if the system comes up, we tend to get it in the valley or out on the South Shore towards Bridgewater, Barrington, that way. And the systems that come up through the Bay of Fundy, they tend to go right up through, and then they'll empty off on like Amherst, Truro, kind of up through there. What a beautiful shot that is down across the valley. It might not look like a whole lot of snow to some people, because you can see you can see the color of the pavement, the asphalt under it. But when I say greasy, I think that's about the 100% appropriate word. It is 100% greasy. I could go faster, but you want to be going at the safe enough speed to allow yourself to react. Your mind shouldn't be really thinking about your traction as far as what speed you're going. It should be how many yards is it going to take, or how many vehicle lengths is it going to take to slow down and to stop. Running a lobster boat, the one thing that I always took from that was you always proceed as fast as you're willing to hit something. And by that, in a boat, in around the dock and whatnot, is proceed as fast as you are willing to hit something. There's no instant brake. Everything requires a distance of processing that I mean, you know, when you go from forward to aft and about, and it takes a moment for the cavitation to stop, for the propeller to start appropriately moving water, for the forces to equalize, for you to come to a stop and eventually move backwards, or whatever your desired movement is. So with that, I go a little slower. Oh, and it looks like this outside. Going slow is a little bit more enjoyable. I wish I could pan over and show you some of these spots. There's a foot of snow just clinging on some of these big spruce trees. Absolutely gorgeous. What would a day like this look like up on, like, in Cape Breton on the Highland trails? That would be gorgeous. But now that I'm thinking of it, what do they do when they have snowfall like this? And they have to, like, who's in charge of plowing, like, the backside of Big Interval and stuff, and in through, like, that major pass? Like, if you know what I'm talking about, kinda, maybe just let me know, because me and my wife talked about that this fall while we were up there. Like, as beautiful as it is, like, does the highway up through there get shut down and it's not passable while they're doing snow removal, or do they have to wait for, like, or is it like a, you know, days long process of clearing some of that snow up through there? Like when you enter the park and you go up through, and you're going through when you go past Cape Rouge, and then you start going up through the incline up to the Skyline Trail. Who plows that? And, like, that's crazy to even think about. And if you know somebody that plows that, see if you can't convince them to put a GoPro on the front of that, on the front of one of those plows. So I'm kind of curious about that. For the amount of snowmobilers and whatnot that go up through into the Highlands, they must keep it plowed and relatively well accessible, but my goodness. And maybe I just sound like an ignorant or blissfully ignorant person, because I've never traveled up there in the dead of winter, but yeah, that's just kind of blowing my mind right now to think about that. Because some of Cape Breton, or you've traveled up through there, or make that regular trek up through there, going snowmobiling or whatnot, and you can shed some insight for me. Just let me know what's up, because I'm pondering that. I'm wondering. I mean, it's got to be kept accessible to a certain degree, but I know there's certain spots that get that can be cut off for a little while. Like, I mean, to be realistic, like Meat Cove, that's got to be a nightmare. And I know in other times, like, there's been times when they have been cut off and had the bridges collapsed and whatnot, but is it a regular occurrence? Is it something that you regularly plan for? Like, yeah, I'm almost getting anxiety thinking about being at Meat Cove in the middle of a snowstorm now. That drive down that cliff face is something else. Well, we got a lot of snow. We got a lot of snow around. And it's quite pretty. It does make for a nice old drive. I enjoyed it. Sensible, but I am in a four-wheel drive Jeep with they're not ridiculous tires, but they're pretty decent. They're pretty decent all-season tire, but they're more on the winter side of an all-season tire. They're triple peak rated, for what that's worth. They'd be a revised version of the BF Goodwrench all-terrains. Be the KO3s. So they're made out of a little bit different rubber, which is supposed to be a bit better for icy and colder climates. The old KO2s, the old BF Goodrich tires, they tended to not do so well when it got pretty cold out. They tend to slide a bit more than you wanted to. And they really didn't have as many, like, the little cuts in them, the little sipings or whatever. I'm probably butchering that, but whatever they're called, the little snow cuts, they didn't have as many of those in them to make them as effective. ones to the test. They've got, if I told you how many kilometers on them, it would, well, you'd probably think I was stupid, but there's a few. There's a little bit of snow down here. Interesting. Ooh, that's fun. Well, thank you for coming along for the drive. Hopefully I catch you along on the next one. I appreciate you very much.